Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing part 7 of the F1 season review for 2023. So today we're looking at McLaren, all things McLaren, Oscar Piastri's rookie season, Lando Norris, how I feel they've done and developed as a team. So far in this series we've already done every team below. We've done Aston Martin, we've done Haas, we've done Alpine, we've done AlphaTauri. We spoke all about Daniel Ricciardo and his hopes for a 2025 seat at Red Bull, maybe even 2024. We've even spoke about Gunther Steiner moving on from Haas and why I think that's a good idea. We've also discussed Alfa Romeo and Williams. So in this video, obviously, it's all about McLaren. It's all about Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, and that's what I'm talking about today. It's just come to my attention, 63% of you are not subscribed. What are you doing? Click that red button right now. Quite simply put it, McLaren came out of pre-season, came out of the car launch, saying that the car wasn't ready. It wasn't the car they wanted to be driving. It wasn't what they wanted to put out on track, but they changed development too late in the day to have it ready for pre-season. And to be fair, they didn't have it ready till about halfway through the season. So Zak Brown has done an incredible job this year. Like, the whole McLaren team have been impeccable from probably about Austria onwards. They bought, well, no, it might even be before Austria. It might even be Silverstone. I can't remember which way around they were. Well, they bought an upgrade package and it just completely changed the trajectory of their season. They went from being a back marker, struggling to make the points, struggling to make Q3, to podiums and even battling for wins. There was occasion where Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri were in the hunt for wins, and obviously, as we know, Oscar Piastri scored his first ever Formula One victory. It was in a sprint race, so there's a bit of an asterisk next to it, but he's won a race. It's that simple. He's won a sprint race. Lando Norris still on a fat donut. He's not quite done it yet, has he? But he'll get there. He'll get one. Probably next year, to be fair, if they keep their development track. But I'm really excited to see what they can do next season. They've had a very impressive year. The change from the start to the end is just mind-boggling. Like, how they went from being, like, I think Lando Norris had to do 5 pit stops for a hydraulic issue in the first race, and to battling for podiums. And I think in the end they even beat Aston Martin. They had the same amount of podiums as Aston Martin. If you'd have said that after Bahrain, everyone would be laughing at you. It just wouldn't be true. So let's talk Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Obviously, they came into the season with a package that wasn't quite up to standard. Zak Brown said it, Lando said it, we all knew. Even in the press, after practice, after pre-season, they never hid the fact that the car just wasn't ready. But they had an impressive turnaround when they brought that upgrade package, and it was pivotal to defining their season from being a battle with Alpine for 5th and 6th, to battling for wins, podiums, and in the end, they were only about 100 or so points behind Ferrari. So it's really impressive season, and Lando still has a donut. He's still got no wins to his name, and Oscar does. Oscar won a sprint race. He won in Qatar. That was probably the biggest moment of their season, and definitely the biggest moment of Piastri's season. So let's talk about Oscar Piastri, because he has been mind-bogglingly impressive. He is incredible. Like, completely understand that he's not consistently beaten Lando yet, but when it mattered in Qatar, where was Oscar? He was in the lead. He won the race. He beat Max Verstappen, and that isn't something many people can say, especially not this year, especially not in the past 18 or so months, to be honest. But Oscar did it, and Lando, at some point, he's got to stop pulling to the side, letting him past with Max Verstappen, because it's just not going to work. He's not going to win a race by letting Max by. He's got to battle him. He's got to kill his tyres. He's got to make him work for those positions. But Lando just hasn't quite got that mentality yet. It'll come, but he's not quite got it. So obviously, Oscar, He had 4 top 5s this season, a couple of podiums, and that's very impressive for a rookie. His first season in F1, and I'm pretty sure arguably this is the best rookie season since Lewis Hamilton came to the grid. I know point systems are different and all things like that, but Oscar still wasn't miles behind. I think he was only about 20 or so points behind Lewis's points when he was a rookie, although I think Lewis's rookie season was impeccable. No one's ever going to top that, I don't think. Not unless you chuck them straight into a front-running car like the Red Bull is now. I don't think anybody will ever top what Lewis did. But Oscar did an incredible job this season. Oscar finished in the points 11 times, and he finished 9th in the Drivers' Championships with 97 points. And for a rookie, he's done an incredible job. I just keep going back to it. Like, I run out of words for him because I think he's been so impressive this season. Yes, he's had his unlucky moments. He's suffered 3 DNFs this season, but he's also shown that he's capable. He's got the ability to battle at the front and even hold off Max Verstappen in a sprint race in a place where tyres weren't great. Obviously, we all know the situation regarding Qatar and the tyres, but Oscar managed that really well. He kept the gap, he built a gap, he stayed ahead, he won. Quite simple, really. He was brilliant. And then let's now take a look at Lando. Lando had 16 points finishes this season. He finished in the top 5 10 times. And I think he also finished on the podium 7 or 8 times this season. And that's impressive considering where they started, considering Bahrain and how that went about. It's impressive, the jump they made. And Lando even finished ahead of Lance Stroll, who at the start of the season had the 2nd fastest car on the grid. Lando wasn't far behind Fernando Alonso. I think it was just a couple of points. I think Alonso was on 206. I think Lando was on 205. And quite impressive to look at Lando's season, look at Oscar's season, look at McLaren's season. If you look at the McLaren from 2018, no sponsors. If you look at McLaren now, I don't think there's a part of the car that doesn't have a sponsor. Like, McLaren have made a massive leap in the past few years, and Zak Brown's been a major part of it. Now, let's look at McLaren as a whole. They had 9 podiums this season, 7 for Lando, 2 for Oscar. They finished in the top 5 14 times, 10 Lando, 4 Oscar. They finished 4th in the Drivers' Championships on 302 points. They had an average race finish of 9.45 and an average qualifying of 9. Obviously, they didn't have the first few races like Bahrain, Saudi. They'd have been way higher. In my opinion, if they didn't have the first half of the season that they had with a package that wasn't ready, I think they'd have been P2 in the championship. I think the form in the second half of the season, if they'd have done that all season, they'd be 2nd easily, if not even 1st, to be honest, because Sergio Perez just wasn't on it apart from the first three, maybe 4 races. So McLaren have had a massive jump. Really impressed, really intrigued to see what they do next season. So the winter's going to be massive for them because they could catch Red Bull. So that's enough on McLaren. That's enough on Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Are you interested to see what McLaren do next season? Do you think Oscar is better than Lando? What's your take? Just let me know in the comments. So like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and get yourself prepared for the next one at the same time tomorrow, in the same place, same channel. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for a new video. Make sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.